Welcome back, my wonderful people. Thanks for joining me again on this channel where we speak the truth without fear, without compromise, and without apology. Today, we need to talk about the viral clash between FCT Minister Nyesom Wike and a young naval officer in Abuja. But this is not just a viral moment. This is a national embarrassment, one that exposes the character crisis in Nigerian leadership and at the same time highlights the discipline and professionalism that some of our young officers still carry like a badge of honor. Let's get straight into it. The video everybody has been talking about shows Wike storming a construction site and immediately launching into what can only be described as aggressive, intimidating, and completely unbecoming behavior for someone holding a federal ministerial position. He approached the naval officers like a man looking for a fight, not a leader resolving an issue. His voice was raised, his words were harsh, and his posture was confrontational. It was the classic Wike we've seen many times: loud, impulsive, combative, acting more like a political warlord than an appointed public servant. But the real story here, the part that Nigerians must pay attention to, is not Wike's theatrics. It is the calmness, the maturity, and the surprising restraint shown by the young naval officer standing right in front of him. Despite being provoked, insulted, talked down to, and treated like a schoolboy being scolded by a headmaster, the young officer never raised his voice. He never reacted emotionally. He never crossed the line. He simply stood firm, responded with clarity, and demonstrated something many of our politicians lack: composure and self-control. And the question is, why is it that the people with training in discipline and order are the ones exercising restraint, while the political class that should embody dignity and leadership behaves like street thugs? Wike's public meltdown was unnecessary. His tone was unnecessary. His constant shouting of "I am the FCT minister" was unnecessary. His attempt to intimidate uniformed officers on duty was not only shameful, it was dangerous. If that naval officer had reacted poorly, even slightly, the situation could have escalated in seconds. This is the deeper problem. Nigeria's issue is not just bad policies, it's the mindset of those in power. Wike's behavior revealed something many Nigerians have complained about for years. Too many of our leaders think power gives them the right to bully, insult, and demean others. They think government office transforms them into emperors. They forget that leadership is service, not intimidation. But despite all the shouting, Nigeria witnessed something refreshing that day. We saw a young officer representing the best of what our uniformed men should be: calm under fire, composed under pressure, respectful even when disrespected, firm without being violent. He showed the maturity that Wike should have shown. He showed the restraint that Wike refused to show. In fact, many Nigerians believe the young officer deserves commendation from the Navy leadership for handling a volatile situation with grace and professionalism. This incident also reveals a deeper national issue: the abuse of power. When a minister can speak to officers like this in public, imagine what happens behind closed doors. Imagine how civil servants are treated daily. Imagine how Nigerians without uniforms or cameras are spoken to. This is the real sickness: power without humility. But we cannot just complain. We must also reflect. We must ask, why do we keep tolerating leaders who lack emotional maturity? Why do we accept loudness as strength, arrogance as confidence, and bullying as leadership? Nigeria must start demanding emotional intelligence as a qualification for public office. We need leaders who think before they act. Leaders who speak with sense, not noise. Leaders who embody the dignity of the office they occupy. And beyond leadership, we need a society where respect flows in both directions. The military must respect civilian authority, yes, but civilian authority must also respect the dignity of uniformed officers. The clash between Wike and this naval officer is a symbol of a broken national culture where power is abused and institutions are undermined. But what happened in that video should awaken something in us. It should challenge us to rethink what leadership should look like in Nigeria. It should remind us that character is not optional, that arrogance is not governance, and that professionalism, like we saw from that young naval officer, is something we must uphold and celebrate, not ignore. If we want Nigeria to progress, we must hold our leaders accountable for how they behave, not just what they say. Leadership is not a shouting match. Leadership is not intimidation. Leadership is calm, clarity, emotional balance, and respect for the people you serve. My people, let's not allow this moment to pass without reflection. Let's speak up, let's demand better, and let's give credit to the young naval officer who showed extraordinary commendation-worthy conduct in the face of provocation. If you appreciate this kind of honest, fearless analysis, please like this video, drop your thoughts in the comment section, share it widely, and subscribe for more bold and truth-centered content.